What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 240 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best setups to give you some ideas and inspiration for your own setup, and this week, the Clean and Minimal Edition. If you see anything you like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. And if you're trying to buy some new gear or hardware, got something pretty convenient for you guys, because this episode is sponsored by ShopTagger, which is a Chrome plugin and an app that's constantly using tech behind the scenes so you never miss out on a coupon code or a price drop. I actually used it a few weeks ago, saved $200 when I was picking up my Sony a6600 camera. So if you're trying to buy some new tech, some new PC stuff, I have a link for you in the description down below. So on the Chrome web store, just install the ShopTagger Chrome plugin. Literally takes you like 5 seconds. Now, whatever site you go to, you can track items, save things you're interested in, and then get notifications via email or mobile push when an item you've saved goes on sale, has a relevant coupon code, or comes back in stock. So a relevant example, say you want to be alerted when a 3080 comes back in stock, all you have to do is save that item, it'll add it to the ShopTagger plugin, tell it when to alert you, and you can even create and manage certain lists to organize all your items. And you can see here all the stuff that I've saved and been keeping an eye on, all in the items tab in the plugin. ShopTagger also scans the web for coupon codes and applies them at checkout. This is a special feature if you use ShopTagger on your computer, so the Chrome extension is a must. As you can see, I was checking out on Adidas for some new shoes, and all I had to do was just press a single button and then apply the coupon code it found, dropping the price from $162 to $126. Another cool thing is ShopTagger just launched a new cashback feature, so you can earn cash via PayPal when you shop from select retail partners right here on the wallet. If you want to check it out, I'll have a link for you down below. Check out ShopTagger on both your computer and your phone. First up is the Spencer Ryan, and I saw this on Instagram, knew I had to show it off for you guys, got in contact with him, because this is a super nice looking setup, really hits all the criteria for me. Plus, he's got the PC there and the PS5, so console gaming, PC gaming, ain't nothing but a thing, and I'm liking that wallpaper. So for the single display here, he's rocking an LG 27-inch, it's their UL650 display, coming in at 4K with the autonomous SmartDesk 2. And you can see Darth Vader creeping there off to the left side. So you can tell he's a big Star Wars fan, and those two prints behind the setup itself up on the wall match the whole setup really nice. Especially the Stormtrooper there, like all black and white, matches the PS5 to a T as well. For the peripherals, going mainly wireless here with a white Royal Clutch RK61 keyboard and Logitech MX Master 2S mouse, and also for audio on his desktop are his speakers, Logitech Z313. Then checking out the PC, inside the NZXT H510 case is an Intel i5 9600K CPU with a Deepcool Castle 240EX cooler, got 16 gigs of RAM, and the nice white ASUS GTX 1060. So liking the matching hardware inside here, gotta go black and white. So we'll call this pretty much like the Stormtrooper PC with the NZXT case. Again, tying everything together nicely. I think Ryan did a really great job of creating a refreshing and just chill vibe for this setup that I really like. Next up, still keeping it simple, but has the addition of some RGB, is Ciprian. And the funny thing is, going back, like a lot of these setups that we have on the Clean and Minimal Edition usually don't have RGB. They stick to like 1 or 2 colors, but here it's tastefully done. There's limited hardware, so it's not too cluttered. I think he pulls it off really nicely. For his display, he's going with a Samsung 32-inch 4K monitor, the UD970Q display. And I like for the wallpaper how he has that color explosion, but it's with a black background. So it still kind of tones it down a bit, but the black's gonna match a lot of the hardware in the setup. And he easily could have gone overboard with a very colorful wallpaper like this one, but he didn't, and I like that choice. For his peripherals, with the Logitech G413 silver keyboard with a Maria MG7517 mouse. Not too sure about that one. And for audio, he has the Mackie CR3 speakers on each side of the desk. Now for the PC, that's the GameX Black Hole RGB case, what a name, with a Ryzen 7 3700X CPU and an ASUS TUF X570 Plus motherboard, got 32 gigs of G-Skill Trident Z Neo RAM, with a Windforce GTX 960 G1 graphics card, but the RGB ring on the fans and some of the RGB hardware definitely, fits in with the rest of the setup and that RGB theme. Nice little peek underneath the desk, and an absolutely great job of cable management. This again is a desk from Autonomous, so sit stand desk, so making sure the cables are nice and tidy is definitely the way to go here. You don't want any cables ripping the whole setup down when you raise the desk for standing. So all around Ciprian. Like I said in the beginning, you don't see all the RGB like this too much for a clean and minimal setup, but you pulled it off really, really nicely. The addition of the RGB light strip behind the desk even, I think, is really what makes this entire setup work. So that way, the other RGB splashes you have around doesn't really seem out of place. Now we've got Jerry D going with the laptop setup here, all powered by his 13-inch MacBook Pro and the nice 34-inch LG Ultrawide. Just the essentials on the desktop, got some prints above the wall, got a plant. This is what's up. So this is it in its daytime form. You can see nice and bright. Got one of those monitor light bars mounted on the monitor to act as a lamp, in addition to the Philips Hue Play, which are these two pretty much light pucks that he has mounted on the back of the monitor to give it that RGB splash, which is definitely a nice addition, I think. He's got the RGB matching the wallpaper as well. Down to the peripherals, he has a Keychron K6 wireless mechanical keyboard with Logitech MX Master 3 mouse on this simple felt desk pad. His audio setup is Logitech Z207 speakers, and like I said before, this is all powered by the MacBook Pro, so he has that docked over on the right side, and then a webcam, or his DSLR, acting as a webcam. All seems like a very convenient work-from-home setup, or possibly he's a student. Either way, this is just the definition of optimal, we'll say. Also like the little lounge chair right next to this setup, got that big window for the natural lighting, and no issues whatsoever with this setup. Now is Badra with the cozy setup, like in that slate gray wall, the autumn leaves in the wallpaper, nice wooden desk. Another great job at keeping it to the essentials here. Practically no cables really, going nice and wireless. For his monitor, it's the Acer Predator X34P, so a nice curved 120Hz display that's also mounted on an arm you can see off to the right side coming down into the desk. Then for his speakers on each side on the stand, it's the Kanto YU2 in a nice matte black. And for the rest of his peripherals, loving the choice here, going with the Logitech G915 TKL Lightspeed keyboard, got an Ponage Custom Ultra wireless mouse, that's on a SteelSeries Quick extra large mouse pad. Then also for audio, the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro headphones, powered by the Sound Blaster X3 amp and DAC. A very classy approach to everything. Then keeping it consistent for his PC case is the NZXT H1, also in black. Got an Intel i7 10700K CPU that's cooled by the H1's internal AIO. Got 16 gigs of G-Skill Trident Z RGB RAM on an ROG Strix Z490i gaming ITX motherboard with an EVGA RTX 2080 Super GPU. Also loving this setup on the other side of the room. You can see got a shelf off to the left side for some consoles, a nice keyboard build and stuff. But this TV is the Sony A8F. It's an OLED 4K. At least 55 inches, I'd say. He didn't drop a model number, but loving the warm vibes all around there. That's what it is. It's the warm, cozy vibes all around the setup. It's the consistency. It's the minimalism. Badra, my man, this is a killer setup. Speaking of killer, we've got Andy C closing us out with a big fat dub. Man, so first up, just the walnut here with the desk, the riser, the shelves in the back. It all fits so nicely, giving it that natural, earthy vibe, especially with all the plants around, like next to the desk, on the desk, behind it. And I gotta say, the symmetry here also on point. So checking it out for his single monitor, it's an LG 32-inch, a 4K panel. Don't know if that's his car in the wallpaper, if it's one he found online, but I'm liking it. Hatchback gang. And down to some of his peripherals, he has the Keychron K1 keyboard. I swear I'm seeing these everywhere now. With the Logitech MX Master 2 mouse. And then for audio, he has the Philips Fidelio X2 HR headphones, as well as the Razer Nomo speakers that he had on the monitor riser. You can see yet again on the monitor itself, we have one of those light bars, which is pretty much replacing a desktop lamp, because the lamp he's using is just pointed at the wall to throw some RGB on it. So you're probably wondering, where's the PC? And believe it or not, this is all run off his 2019 MacBook Pro 16-inch with an i9 Intel CPU, 32 gigs of RAM, and an AMD Radeon Pro 5300M for graphics. So a powerful build still nonetheless, not necessarily for gaming, but it doesn't matter. Look at this setup. That's all you need to know. So alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 240 of Room Tour Project, the Clean and Minimal Edition. Hope you enjoyed, and a big shout out and thank you to ShopTagger, again, for sponsoring this episode. I'll have a link for you in the description down below so you can check it out, as well as all the gear and hardware we showed you today in the description. And then lastly, if you want to submit your setup, check the description. Everything will be down there for you, some very, very simple instructions. If you like this episode, give it a big thumbs up, show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.